Hi guys, it's Sarah with Something's Pretty Special, and I just wanted to do a quick, I guess it's a project share. Kind of goes along with planners and stuff too. This is an altered composition book that I made so we can plan our trip to Disney World this November. And the reason this came about is we've never been to Disney World, so I was just going through all this stuff, and it was just so overwhelming between like the hotel resort and all the different parks and all these different, tips and tricks and fast passes and dining reservations and, shows. And we were kind of having a hard time keeping it straight. So I thought, hey, why not make kind of a book where we can just keep it all in one place, and then something that'll be easy to just throw in my suitcase and take with us, so that when all of our plans are finalized, I kind of have a hard copy of like what day we plan to go to what park and like what reservations and what times we kind of have. And I know that all this stuff can be done with, my iPhone and his smartphone and all this stuff. But to be honest, my phone, after 12, 14 hours in the park taking pictures, different things phone calls I might be doing with my phone, I was kind of afraid that my battery might not last that long, or if something were to happen to my phone or I don't get good service to use the app or whatever. So I really just wanted a hard copy. So this is what I came up with. And all this is, it started out as just a basic black composition book. I got these last year at back to school for like 25 cents a piece or something like that. And they're just the basic wide ruled, notebook that we all see at the big box stores, office supply store, dollar store, wherever you can find them. And I just used some paper out of my stash. I really like the comic print, so I use that as my cover. And then I just put some Disney washi tape along the side, and I just left the spine, the original, black spine that was already on it. I did use my Collage Page to glue everything down. I like this better than Mod Podge. In my climate, and I live in Western Washington, I find that Mod Podge, even when it's thoroughly dry, even after like a week of drying, it still has like a tacky feeling when you touch it. And I didn't want that because dust, and I found lint, my dog hair sticking to it. So I really like this one. It dries really well, really quick with my heat gun, and it doesn't leave that tacky feeling that I seem to get with Mod Podge. And like I said, that's just here in Western Washington, where it rains a lot and things like that. That's just for my climate. I find that works best. So I covered everything with that. These stickers were just out of my stash, and I did the paper, put a coat of Mod Podge on it, let it dry, put the stickers on, and then put another layer of the decoupage over the top, so the stickers are sealed in, so they shouldn't be coming up at all. And those are our trip dates. The back cover here, it's just a solid piece of paper I got out of one of my Disney pads, and I really thought this was cute. It's just me and my guy are going, so I just thought this was really cute for the back. And then the washi tape again down the side. And then for all the dividers that you see here, I use my Tim Holtz Tiny Tags die that has like the little label on them. And I just made one for each park. So let me see if you can see it. Like there's the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and then we're taking a day and going to Universal as well. So it's for each of the parks. And I just counted through the dividers and kind of, there's 100 pages in the book, 5 parks, roughly 20 pages a piece. And I just glued it, I just took it and glued it down, and then used my tiny attacher to kind of staple up here, and then see it on there. And I used red just because I thought it matched well with, everything that we had going on. So, and you can kind of see on the inside you know, we've gotten restaurant lists and some stuff going. So, and then for the inside cover, this is just a regular 6x9 envelope that I covered just with the Disney paper and glued down, and then I covered the inside flap, and I didn't trim, like the envelope lip is right here, and this is just the paper, so I might have to trim this off just to make this a little more stable, because as you can see it just ripped. But this is just a regular envelope, so we could tuck brochures, and I was thinking mostly like the park brochures and stuff like that in there, just so it's an easy place to keep stuff stored. And then on the inside back cover here, I just covered it with plain black. I don't know if I'm going to come back later and put a pocket. I will tell you that when I glued this envelope down, I used my score tape, you know, just across the back and glued it down. The only downside to that is to get into it, the envelope is really tight and it doesn't give a lot of give. So I honestly don't know how much stuff I'm going to be able to get in here, or how I'm going to be able to get it out. You kind of have to like push on the cover to get in here. But for travel brochures and stuff, you know, the tall park maps, I'm thinking it still might work. So we'll kind of see how this goes. And I left it so that the clasp will still work, so it's, you know, still a functioning envelope. And if I needed to put tiny things in there, I could, and I know that they're not going anywhere, so I'm hoping it's still functional. So anyways, this is my planner, sorry. I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully it gives you, you know, maybe something to think about the next time you're planning your big vacation. And this is a really cool way to start planning and scrapbooking, and, you know, thinking about keeping all those little bits and things kind of that happen before the vacation. So thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.